Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for Journeyman episode 16. Episode 15 had seen us climb away from the relegation zone. We were now knocking on the door of the playoffs. We also had the FA trophy we were still in. So with fingers crossed, we could reach them playoffs and lift that trophy. We'll see all that in this episode. It's going to be an exciting one, so let's get straight into it. My 100% record in January saw me come second in the Manager of the Month award for the Vanarama National. Both the board and the fans felt I was doing an unbelievable job. I had to agree. After the 6-3 thriller at Hartlepool United, we look to continue our great run of form as we travel to Glanford Park to take on Scunthorpe United, where a DJ Campton Sturridge goal wrapped up a 1-0 win. We were now into promotion contention as we had won 6 games in a row in the league and 8 games in all competitions. The win at Scunthorpe had seen us climb into the playoffs on 50 points. I rested plenty of players ahead of our next league game at home to Oldham Athletic. The away side had a man sent off before Campton Sturridge opened the scoring. Ote then grabbed a second goal after great work from Sturridge, and that's how the game stayed. We had yet again won. I had lifted the club from relegation favourites to promotion hopefuls, and since I joined in October, I had won 13 games out of my first 20 in charge. The win against Oldham saw us sitting in 5th place in the table on 53 points. We would be without midfielder Rowan McDonald after he had pulled an abdominal muscle and would miss 2 to 3 weeks. We had further bad news as Max Thompson was also ruled out for 3 to 6 weeks. It was time for the FA Trophy 5th round as we travelled to Harrogate Town, where the home side took a shock lead in the 47th minute. But we didn't give up and substitute Ote equalised in the 93rd minute. This sent the game into penalties, and when the home side missed, it gave the chance for Long to send us through, and he did. We were in the FA Trophy quarter-final. It wasn't the prettiest way to win, but winning was all that mattered. We had a bit of bad news from the game though, as midfielder Cade Ratchford would miss 6 to 8 days with a pulled groin. We were drawn away to fellow National League North side Southend United in the quarter-final of the FA Trophy. It was back to the league next as we welcomed bottom of the table Chester to Victoria Road, where a lucky goal from DJ Campton Sturridge proved to be the only one of the game. We had won 1-0 against the run of play, but the 3 points are all that counts. The win saw us sitting in 5th place on 56 points and 2 points ahead of 8th place Eastleigh. We had now won 11 games in a row in all competitions and lost just 1 game in the last 16. We look to keep our winning run going as we travel to Telford United, but the home side took the lead on the 42nd minute and that's how it stayed. We look to put the loss to Telford behind us as we travel to struggling York City, but the home side scored from the spot before Ote equalised in the second half on 54 minutes, and that's how the game stayed. We had taken a point home and it was much better second half, but we needed to get back to winning ways. We had the chance to do this just 3 days later as we welcomed Boreham Wood to Victoria Road, but the away side opened the scoring in the 50th minute and then made it 2 on the 52nd after poor defending. We pulled a goal back through Remy Longdon and then OT equalised from the spot to earn us a point and leave us sitting in 4th place on 58 points and 3 points clear of 8th place Eastleigh. Centre back Josh Okocha had joined Tamworth on loan until the end of the season, and we had some really bad news as Cade Ratchford would miss 3 to 5 weeks with a hernia. It was time for the FA Trophy quarter final as we travelled to league leaders Southend United and took the lead with a penalty before the home side levelled. They then took the lead just a minute later, and despite all the effort we had put in, we were out of the cup and our Wembley dream was over. It was back to the league and we hoped to end our disappointing run as we faced AFC Fylde at home, where a Zach Nelson goal gave us the 3 points and ended our poor run. It was a tough fixture next as we travelled to third in the table, Bromley, but an Ote penalty sealed the win and gave us the 3 points. This left us in third in the table on 64 points and 5 points clear of 8th place Halifax with just 5 games left to play. We did have bad news though, as right back Richard Bryan would be out for 4 to 7 weeks and would probably miss the rest of the season. It was time for the annual youth intake and I offered a contract to a right back, a right winger, a centre forward and a central midfielder. I was dealt a further crushing blow though, as James Morris was ruled out for 3 to 4 weeks after he pulled his knee ligaments in training. We did have a bit of good news though, as we had tied up the free transfer of Jezreel Davies from Tottenham. The central midfielder would join for the start of next season and was much better than anything we had at the moment. 11th place Ebbsfleet were the next visitors to Victoria Road, and the away side took the lead in just the 23rd minute. Remy Longdon then pulled a goal back to level the scores, but we couldn't hang on for a draw and the away side took the lead in the 60th minute. This is how it stayed and we had to get back to winning ways, as we had just 4 games left to seal our playoff spot and were 5 points clear of 8th place Boreham Wood. We had signed 18-year-old winger Leighton Ballew from Liverpool on a free transfer. He would join up with us at the end of the season. It was 4th v 5th as we travelled to Aldershot Town in our next game, and Max Thompson opened the scoring with an absolute screamer. He then made it 2, Nelson made it 3 with a mazy dribble and finish. The home side then pulled a goal back after some sloppy defending, and it was another goal of the season contender as Longdon hit in the 4th. We had completely blown Aldershot away and now sat third in the league on 67 points and still 5 points clear of 8th place Ebbsfleet. I had passed yet another objective as we'd become an established National League team. We had another tough fixture next as we welcomed second in the table Crawley Town to Victoria Road, where we took the lead through Ote in the 62nd minute, but we couldn't hold on for the win as Crawley equalised in the 78th. We had played well and picked up a point against one of the top teams, and it left us in 4th place on 68 points, and we now just needed 1 point to secure a playoff place. Fullbacks Richard Bryan and James Morris were back for our trip to champion Southend, where a 5th minute goal from the home side was enough to grab a 1-0 win. I had bagged my Continental A coaching licence and had now put in for my Continental Pro licence, but we still had 1 game left of the season, and this came against 7th place Crewe Alexandra at home, where a single goal from substitute Rowan McDonald was enough to seal a 1-0 win, and we had sealed our place in the playoffs. We were 18th in the table when I joined and looking certain for relegation, but I had turned things round and pushed us up the league, surpassing expectations. We now just had to win a few more games and we would celebrate promotion. We would face Halifax Town at home in the playoff first round, where Ote opened the scoring from the spot, And Nelson grabbed our second to book our place in the semi-final, where we would face Bromley, who finished third in the table away from home. And I went with a slightly more defensive system, which seemed to work as Adam Long headed in the only goal of the game and sent us to the Wembley final, where we would face in-form Oldham Athletic. And after a cagey 0-0, the game went into extra time. The two teams could not be separated, so we faced a penalty shootout. With the penalty scores at 3-3, Zach Nelson just had to score to send us into League 2. And he did, and we were up. I had turned this team from relegation favourites into promotion winners. So everyone, that is the end of the episode. It's been an absolutely crazy season at Dagenham. When I took over on the 18th of October, the team weren't doing very well. They were sitting in 18th or 19th in the league, I think. Our first game was a 0-0 against a lower league side in the FA Cup qualifying round. I did think then, what have I done here? I should have stayed at Black Leopards where I had it quite good. But we never gave up. We went on a good run from December through till the end of February. That's when I started realising, yeah, we can do it here. We did slip off a bit towards the end of the season, so I did change the system round for the playoff games. It seemed to work. It was nerve-wracking in the final, but I loved every minute of it, and we have done it. We're in League 2 next season. I'm gonna stick it out for another season, I think, unless another job offer comes and I'm stepping up. I'm gonna stay here for now. See what I can build on with this promotion. I'm enjoying the episodes. I hope you are all enjoying watching them. If I get one view on each video, I'll still carry on. I love playing the game. I love making these videos. If you do like what you're seeing and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Until the next episode, that's all from me. Goodbye.